Hello investors and traders, and welcome to the weekly market report with the market guys. I'm AJ Monty. Last week I pulled up some charts to look at the major indices, and I drew some lines which were basically my lines forecasting where I thought the price action would wind up this week. And I've left those lines on the chart so you can see just how accurate these reports are each and every week. These reports have been 100% accurate, and I think I'm safe in saying that the weekly market report has been the most accurate market report available today. And I wish I could take all the credit for that, but the fact is the technical charts have become more reliable with regard to being able to spin off the signals between the buyers and sellers, that all you really have to do is learn how to read the signals. And what I'd like to do real quickly is to go through those signals with you and draw some lines for next week so that you too can learn how to forecast the market with great accuracy. Last week, this diagonal line is what I drew. I said because of this bullish engulfing pattern, we would probably go up and fill this gap right here, which we did. And then I also pointed out this area of resistance, which is basically where we've wound up this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase that former forecast. I'm going to remove the gap fill point, and I'm going to draw another area of resistance, which is this gap fill point. Right there, once a gap fills, and this is the gap that I'm talking about, once a gap fills, there's an 80% chance that the market will reverse from that point and go the other way. So here's what my forecast looks like. I think we're going to come right back down next week to fill this gap that was left on Monday. So it's pretty straightforward. The buyers took control this week. We had 6 green candles in a row, and if you look even more closely, you'll see that the volume has been dropping. The volume is actually the leading indicator. When the market is going up and the volume is dropping, it tells us that the buyers are slowing down. So I'm going to leave that line in place for you, and we'll see whether or not I can maintain my 100% accuracy in forecasting the market. Going to the next market, which is the spiders. It's the ETF for the S&P 500. Again, I left my lines on the chart so you can see how accurate they were. And again, another bullish engulfing pattern is what we wound up with last Friday. And this was my target, which was another gap fill point. Market rallied up again at the same angle in which I drew that forecast line. We hit the target. We're now at a resistance point, and I'm going to draw this as my new resistance. And I'm going to erase the old target, and I'm going to erase the old trend line for the forecast and draw a new one. This is what I think could very well happen next week, that will pull back to fill that gap. Now I'm pointing out a couple of other signals that I'm seeing here. If I zoom in, you'll see that today, Friday the 9th, we close with what's called a doji. A doji is when the market basically opens and closes at the same price, and it forms somewhat of a cross right there. And that's a sign of indecision that tells us the buyers are, again, not quite sure whether or not to go higher, but the sellers haven't moved in yet. The other thing is we see a drop in volume from Friday's trading day, which again tells us the buyers are becoming less motivated. So again, this is my resistance point right there, right around 202 to 203. My gap fill target right here is what I'm looking at. I think we'll pull right back to that point. And it's where these two lines intersect that I think we're going to wind up next week. And again, follow along with me so you can see the evidence behind what I'm talking about, because if you could understand how to read these charts and basically just read the signals, you're going to get really excited because you can do this yourself for sure. This is a Russell 2000. It's a more broad-based index. We drew the downward trend line basically connecting as many of these highs as I could, and I projected out. And my forecast, again, look at that line. It's pretty amazing how I drew the angle, fairly steep, I might add, because of that bullish engulfing pattern. I said that we would move up, and we did, almost as though the market was following my line. And I can certainly tell you that wasn't the case. But again, it's in our ability to be able to read the signals and determine where the price action is moving towards. Now, that is the end of this leg, in which I think we've reached the resistance point right here. So what I think we will see next week is, again, a pullback, very similar in angle to what we saw back here in mid-September. You see, when the market goes up, it certainly comes down. It goes up and down, ebb and flow. And you'll see that the angle at which the sellers took hold back on September 18th all the way down to September 29th, there was a pretty good sell-off. I think we're going to see that same angle in the sell-off coming up next week, and maybe even into the week after next. So again, I'll keep that line in place so you can track the markets with me. Taking a switch to the tech sector and looking at the Qs, that's ticker symbol QQQ, aka the power shares. It's absolutely incredible how even the tech sector followed that angle after this big green candle, which was from last Friday. I drew that, and what I think is I'm most proud of is I said that we'll probably see a drop in volume next week. And look what happened. Remember, this was from Friday. On Monday, drop in volume. On Tuesday, we had similar drop in volume from the previous green candle here. And now we see a very small minor gap being filled right there. And I think that's where the resistance is going to be for next week. I'll remove that line. I'm going to remove these lines right here, which were really my forecast in volume. Again, very accurate. And I'm going to draw my forecast. The angle I think will be fairly steep for the NASDAQ as well. And all I'm doing is I'm kind of lining it up from the previous angle of the downward leg. See this? If I take from that high to this low, see how I did that? I basically ran this line here parallel to that line. That's how the markets have been moving, and I think that we're going to really see some action to the downside next week. Now finally, I want to give you the secret that is probably the most effective indicator available today, and that's in the volatility index, aka the VIX. The volatility index is an oscillating indicator. It's not a trending indicator. It oscillates. It goes from the lows, it goes to the highs, it comes back down. And what I did is I forecasted where I thought the VIX would go. There's my forecast from last week. And if you've been studying the VIX, you'll know that it's a contrarian indicator. It works inversely to the S&P. So I said the VIX would go down because I was short-term bullish on the S&P. Remember, we looked at that and it followed the trend exactly. And I said that the VIX would most likely come down to test support here. It did. Look at that. Formed almost a doji right there. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to move up. In fact, I'm just going to keep that same angle, but I'm going to extend my line. And this is what I think we will see next week. I think we're going to see a fairly steep angle in a rally. To watch the VIX go higher means more emotion is coming into the market. And remember, if the VIX is going up, that's bearish for the market. So if you're interested in learning more about technical analysis, I would suggest you go to themarketguys.com. We have a video tab there that offers a free library of videos that we call market shots that will basically show you what I'm talking about here and explain to you how to read the signals. I will most often talk about gaps and the importance of gaps, and I also talk about risk management. I believe these two videos are the most important on the whole page, but you can also learn about the role reversal. You could learn about trading the double top. You could learn about the bullish breakouts. You can learn about hammer patterns and dojis. How many times did I use the word doji just on this market report? A lot of times. And this explains what the doji is and how to read it. You know, I've been in the markets now for 33 years, and I'm more excited now than ever before because the markets have gone very technical. The signals are clear. The general markets are following the signals. You can call it self-fulfilling prophecy or whatever you'd like to call it. If I could make money because I could recognize a simple signal, I'll take it. That's profit in the bank. And I'm hoping that you too will learn these simple signals so that you can benefit and profit in the market. So this is AJ Monty once again with the Market Guys. Have a great weekend and we'll speak with you soon. So long.
For almost 3 decades, AJ Monty has motivated audiences worldwide about creating personal wealth and winning in business. His time-tested risk management strategies focus on ideas that involve a keep it super simple approach, also known as the KISS principle. These concepts have been delivered to people in over 16 countries around the world, reaching audiences in the millions. AJ is a best-selling author of 2 books, The Market Guy's 5 Points for Trading Success and Take Charge of Your Money Now, both of which have been featured on PBS Television, Fox Business News, ABC TV, as well as Sirius Money Radio. As a financial educator and consultant, he has worked with some of the most recognized names in the financial industry. Companies like Bank of America, Charles Schwab, E-Trade Financial, Scotiabank, and TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim. If you have ever been challenged with having to make a tough decision regarding when to buy or sell a stock, then help is on the way. The Options Oracle and Equity Oracle Alert services are designed to help you make those tough decisions. AJ will not only help you find the best trade candidates, but he will also lay out the exit strategy for each position in an easy-to-understand format that anyone can follow.
Hi, my name is AJ Monty, Chief Market Strategist for the Market Guys. For almost 30 years, I've traded stocks, options, futures, and even currencies. I've traveled the world teaching people just like you how to profit in the market using time-tested strategies that focus on risk management. You see, the secret to making money in the market depends on your ability to limit losses when you're wrong. In other words, if you want to make a lot of money in the market, don't lose a lot of money in the market. Now that may sound funny, but it's true. Most investors are challenged with 2 questions. The first question is, how do you find a good stock? Well, the best way to find the right stock starts with eliminating all of the stocks you would not invest in. This process of elimination is called stock screening. And our services help you overcome the odds so you're putting your money where the money is going. We're simply following the trends. The second question most people ask of me is, when is it time to sell? Well, if you don't have an answer to this question, then you might find yourself in a position where you're holding on to your stocks when things go against you. This is the worst thing you could possibly do because I believe this is no longer a buy and hold market. It has evolved into a buy and protect market. Holding on and hoping for things to get better is not a strategy. In fact, doing this will eventually lead you to a catastrophic loss, and you wouldn't want that. Our trade alert services help answer these 2 questions. Not only will I help you find the right trade candidate, but I'll also show you how to use the charts to manage risk. I don't use the charts to predict the future. I use them to protect the future. The charts tell me when it's time to get out as well as when it's time to get in. And that's what I'd like to teach you as well. We have 2 services, the Equity Oracle and the Options Oracle. The Equity Oracle is an alert service for traders who would like to trade only equities, whereas the Options Oracle is our premier alert service for both equity and option traders. Each alert is laid out in an easy-to-understand format that shows charts depicting entry and exit points. Risk management is our cornerstone of each service, so you don't have to struggle with the decision of when to get out or when a trade goes against you, when should I take my loss. The strategy is to use the KISS principle, keeping it super simple. As a bonus, you'll have access to a live Q&A session as well, each and every month. This is where you can submit a stock symbol, and I will analyze these stocks while we discuss the best trading strategies for each position. And it gets better. In addition to the alert service and the live monthly Q&A sessions, we're also developing a member page that will include instructional videos about how to get the most out of our service. Without question, this is the best trade alert service available on the market, and we look forward to having you as our newest subscriber. Simply click on the link below to subscribe. It's easy. Once again, I'm AJ Monty, Chief Market Strategist for the Market Guys. Thanks for watching.
Enrolling in this service is easy. Simply click on the link below to subscribe, and your weekly alert will be delivered right to your email box. And if you act now, we will include AJ's best-selling book, The Market Guy's 5 Points for Trading Success. This is a first-time offer that will get you on the road to success and keep you there. Remember, if you continue to do what you've always done, things will never change. Positive results will only come after you have taken the first step in the right direction. We look forward to having you as our newest member.